Evening, people. The intention was crystal clear. The objective was crystal clear. We were promised a reaction. We were promised a response. We were even promised probably the call for was for just not a performance, but a statement performance, a statement result. We got a statement, but for all the wrong reasons. And here we are, lost two games at Anfield in the space of 2, 3 days. When was the last time you could say that about a Jurgen Klopp side? Well, here we are. We have to do this. We have to talk. Gene has joined us from Turkey. Avi's joined us from America, and Sarib, it looks like he's joined us from the boot room at Liverpool FC. But I don't know. Where shall I start, boys? Where shall I start? Is there going to be any structure to this show today, or do you just want to express yourselves, let it all out, speak your mind, speak whatever? But I'll start with Gene. Gene, how are we doing, man? What's going on?
I'm all right. Well, I was all right until flipping the game sort of kicked off today, and we saw that abysmal performance from those guys. And in terms of feelings, it was a feeling of devastation. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I was devastated after that performance and that loss. You go into that game thinking, it's 7 games to go. You're thinking, okay, let's just get one under the belt, and then we've got them 3 or 4 away games to come, and let's make a start as in this game, especially after what happened at United and Atlanta. But that start after the first 15, 20 minutes, man, it is just really, really began to piss me off. And the performance levels of our players, the chances missed today which is just baffling. I simply cannot believe, again, we're sat here speaking about our forward players missing that many chances, that many clear-cut opportunities. You're talking sitters now from every single one of our forward players, and one fell to Curtis Jones as well. You simply don't win titles when you miss that many chances. When you've got the talisman. We sat here at the start of the season, Asim, you talked about how great this forward line is and how we've got we sat here raving about we've got every single type of player, but every single type of player doesn't guarantee you goals. And it was a bit of a bottle job, and that's what it felt like. Now, there were clear-cut chances, Asim, and I can't fathom the fact we missed every single one. How can you miss every single one? And this has been a repeat of the last 2 or 3 months, where our top boys have been repeatedly missed chance after chance after chance. We've let easy games where I felt as though we should have easily won that game. We made hard work of it. The only player that came out with a bit of credit today was Gakpo, who I thought was played really, really well when he came on the left hand side. But every single one of them with players going forward, I think, what did we see? We didn't see anything. You have to put them chances away if you're going for a title. I speak about fine margins, and I've sat here over months and months, and you guys have defended Darwin Nunez, and I've always said when that chance falls, you have to be good enough to take it. And I'm sorry, but we just haven't good enough in front of goal, and we haven't been for a while, man. And I'm gutted, and I know people will sit here saying, yeah, Arsenal lost and there's still a chance. It was never about Arsenal. It was about Man City and how good this Man City side are, because we've seen over the years that this side is good enough to go and win 10 games on a trot. They're in the ascendancy now, and looking at the fixtures, I know they've got 4 away games, but I'm struggling to see where they're going to drop points. And now, even our goal difference is minus compared to theirs. So we need them to actually lose a game where I can't see that happening. But we've seen stranger things happen. Arsenal were top of the table. We were second. City were third. All it takes is a week where the results go our way. Will they go our way? Probably not. But all we can do is live to fight another day.
Stranger things have happened, Avi, and maybe the slight positives, if you can somehow squeeze them out of the upcoming title race, or the run-in, as they call it. But I had the pleasure of sitting and sharing the table with Ian Rush today, Avi, and at the end of the game, we were absolutely hurting, fuming, just like every Liverpool fan was after the game. And I said, Ian, we needed you today. And he goes, Asim, you could have done a better job than these lot today. And if we had the floodlights on at Anfield today, still going, Avi, we'd still be hitting at the bar and the post and someone's leg somehow coming in the way. But today was like a recollection of the past years of Liverpool just sort of playing out before you. Even when Van Dijk slipped, I saw Ibrahim Bar at Chelsea running in through goal, breaking our hearts.
Demba Ba,
sorry, Ibrahim Bar. Demba Ba running through the... sorry?
No, Ibrahim Ba was a footballer that he played for Milan, didn't he? The blonde
Milan with the blonde hair. But it was just I cannot believe the last time I was sat at Anfield, just flabbergasted about the quality of chances being missed. And you were just looking up at the heavens, Avi, that this is just not your day. This is not your season. And I'm the ever the optimist, and I'll probably get a lot of shit tonight, and rightly so. And I'm sure some of you will be coming for me. But today felt like it felt like one of those days, Avi. There's nothing, whatever you try, it's not going to work out.
Now there's a lot of shit spouted out last weekend as well at Old Trafford when City and Arsenal drew. You thought, okay, you know what? Here's our opportunity. I don't care when people say, "Oh, it's United though. It's always been a dodgy game. We'll take a draw." No, you don't. It was the worst United team. And I wasn't lucky that I wasn't on last week's show because I was very reactionary. But I thought the reactionary was true in terms of that was the worst United team that we played in both games, the FA Cup game and the league game. If we didn't learn from the FA Cup game, then I don't know what to tell you, because that league game was exactly a carbon copy of the FA Cup game, where we played, we had the possession, we could have killed them off, but we didn't. We just haven't got that ice cold killers up top. And I include Salah in that, even though his numbers are extraordinary, out of this world. We haven't got that ice cold instinct, Asim. And then on Thursday, you think, all right, you know what? Maybe we're leggy at 1-0. We've got another chance. Darwin gets a chance at 0-0. Don't know what the hell he was doing. He gets a chance at 1-0 down, right? They get a second. Then you think, okay, if this ain't gonna wake us up, I don't know what will. They get a through a Premiership reject, Shamaka, who looked like a player at ease in that number 9 role. We could have done with him today, and he's a West Ham reject from last season. And then today, again, those two games, the Palace and United at home. United away, Palace at home today. You win those two games, Asim, you're 5 points clear of Arsenal, who supposedly were the best team in the Premier League, probably supposedly the best team in Europe. No shots fired at you, sorry, but I'm just talking on the whole because Arsenal have got the applauders this season. I don't know what to tell you, Asim. I'm very deflated. I thought the stuffing was taken out of me last Sunday, but today it was criminal stuff out there. I won't talk about off the field about the ticket increase. That's another subject for another day. But today, if Klopp couldn't G these players up at half time, then it tells you that, you know what, unfortunately, as much as I love Jurgen Klopp, that sort of change is needed now. 7-8 years, maybe it has got stagnated. Maybe everything has become a bit of a stale at the club, in terms of the playing staff, in terms of the tactics or what we see, the passing patterns. There was no pattern today. If anything, Asim, the 21 out of the 32 games this season where we've conceded first, that's a pattern from last season. And last season we didn't mask over those issues. This season we have, with late winners or between 75 to the 95th minute with extra injury time, we've gotten away with it. But last season we didn't. We were punished for it. This season, that pattern still remains. We've just had the momentum, a bit of passion, a bit of that sort of last sort of swan song for Klopp that's got us by. Yes, before he even announced he was leaving, we were still getting by the games. We were scoring late winners. But especially in the last 2-3 weeks, where this is it, like your last sort of 10 games, where you're supposed to consolidate, where you're supposed to go on then. Let's do it for Klopp. We've gone the opposite way. Ever since the League Cup, we've gone the opposite way. We look worse for wear.
Sarib, I can't give Liverpool the benefit of the doubt today and say we were surprised by Palace after the Atalanta game. Didn't you think at least one or two teams, coming at Anfield, were going to just park the bus and try to break on us? They practically played very similar style to Atalanta in their structure, but just falling for it. And we have to put the chances to aside, in terms of our play for the first 20-30 minutes. Why is Crystal Palace, a Premier League team who has these sort of players like Anderson and Lerma, and especially with Elise and Eze, why are we getting surprised about their plan? Don't we know they want to give it up to Mateta, and they want to have Eze and Elise running off them? And this is my problem. How many games, like Avi says, how many games are you going to start slow? It's practically become a very common theme at Anfield. You take a seat for the first 2-3 minutes, and you ask yourself, or you ask your guy who's sat next to you saying, have we conceded 1 or 2 chances yet in the first 20-30? I don't even say 2-3 minutes. It's literally after 40-50 seconds. And even today was exactly the same, where we created, I know it wasn't a big chance, but it was moments, 2 moments. And we just keep getting, to be fair to this side, Sarib, that this side has kept on coming back from 1-0 down, 1-0 down. But now it's a critical point of the season, the business end, and you just cannot keep on starting slow. It's criminal.
First of all, that stat you just put out there saying we come back from games also is bullshit, because the reason why we come back from these games is because we go 1-0 down in the first place when we shouldn't be. We're a good enough team to beat the teams that we play, regardless of us showing character. We shouldn't be going 1-0 down to Brighton.
It's a fact, isn't it? It's a fact.
And Burnley and my Sunday League team. We shouldn't be going 1-0 down to these teams.
I agree with you. We can't deny that the team has shown character over the season.
Oh, great. We're showing character against teams we're supposed to beat anyway. Oh, well done, well done. Where was the character when we playing Man City? Where was the character at Old Trafford? Where was the character at the Emirates? There was nowhere. We didn't have no balls, nowhere, nothing. Against these smaller teams.
Sarib, I'm gonna let you spit. One thing just triggered me as well, Sarib, when you brought that. Asim, Atalanta and Crystal Palace, I never thought I would say this, but those two teams this season have showed how to play Liverpool. Yeah. They've showed the way. Arteta, by the way, I don't think he's a footballer at all. Yeah. But today, the way he brought players in, absolutely superb. I tell you who doesn't get a mention was that Wharton.
Yeah.
That DM of theirs, Wharton, absolutely superb. I don't know how old he is, but if he's a young player, I'm pretty sure he's young, but if he's like in that 20. Age bracket where we like 20, I thought it was absolutely superb. But those two teams, Asim, have showed how to play against Liverpool at Anfield. Man City came, played their way. We played them off the park. We still couldn't finish them. Arsenal came and played. Yes, a few decisions didn't go our way. We couldn't finish them. Atalanta and Crystal Palace, they were at ease. Do you know what that means? They were at ease. They played with a relaxed style. They never panicked. If anything, Palace it could have been 3-4-0 today. None of us on the panel today, 4 of us, would have complained one bit if they had scored 3 or 4. They had chances at will.
5 chances, 5 shots on target at Anfield, an XG of 1.87, close to 2. It's embarrassing. But I'll tell you why, Avi. I'll tell you why I've been talking, if you actually follow my Twitter, I've been talking about Liverpool structure, and I've been criticizing constructively about Liverpool's shape on and off the ball. And again, today, and this is my problem with Jurgen Klopp, he's just too stubborn at times. He thinks he can impose his game on the likes of Atalanta and Crystal Palace. But at this level, even with the likes of Atalanta, who have a unique playing style, and they took a bit of a sort of a blueprint out of their performance on Thursday night. What they said is, we're gonna park a bus off the ball. If you're good enough, you try to create an overload on the sides. And they made us go attack down that right-hand side, and we kept on pushing. You saw Pep Linders come out to the touchline, screaming at Bradley to get higher, because we want to impose our game and create that extra man in the last line. And when you actually want to do it in stages, just like someone like Leverkusen, who wants to build up and sort of impose their attack and build constructively, you can do it, because once you lose the ball, you're really compact. The manager mentioned straight away at the press conference that the distances, and we were too wide at times, and he even went on and said, if you want to press 80%, you'd rather not do it at all. Well, for me, that's on Jurgen Klopp. How weren't we prepared? We've had 3-4 days, and I know we don't have enough time on the training field because the games are coming thick and fast, but we have to make sure we don't get surprised by a plan that we've seen so many teams, especially at Anfield, where we vacate that area of the right-hand side, whether it's Trent going high and wide, whether it's Trent coming into midfield, the space is on the right-hand side. And you have to give their manager a lot of credit, where he put Mitchell in an area where we've seen the sort of 2-shell sides at Chelsea who played a 3-4-3, and our attackers were in no man's land. And I'm not surprised when Jurgen Klopp said, we're pressing 80%. You saw Linders come and have a go at David Nunez at one stage. And David Nunez said, look, if you want me to be the trigger, the lads have to follow me from behind. So I felt sorry for him in the terms of the off-the-ball press. And they kept on getting out and out and out. And the manager again mentioned the diagonal balls of Crystal Palace. It was just too easy. How do you press them when they just had an out ball all the time? So you have to give credit to Crystal Palace. But again, what we do is we try to go for the basketball type of game. We kept on pushing Bradley high and wider. And again, it's the same old overloads. Heze came on that side. Hughes was on that side. Mateta was on that side. And Mitchell was on the overlap. And all of a sudden, you had a carbon copy of sometimes Atalanta or any other team going down that side and overloading us. And Liverpool took 20, 30 minutes to work out what was happening. But 22, 30 minutes in this league at this level is just too late, I'm afraid.
Look, Asim, in terms of, you mentioned especially Bradley. Look, I actually disagreed with you a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week when you mentioned, being solidifying our defense, and I said, look, end of the day, that you can't legislate for missing the chances that we miss going forward. That's what ideally, that's what costs us the game. But today, within the first 10, 15 minutes of that game, you could clearly see that on our right hand side we were struggling because Bradley was so high up on so many occasions that there was always space that was there, and it was really beginning to piss me off because end of the day, Asim, he's up against Eze. Eze is a class footballer. He's good enough to beat any man. So it doesn't take a brain surgeon to work out that, you know what, tell Bradley for the next 10 minutes, just drop back and keep your position. We don't need to go gun-ho. We've seen in the past, we've always, in the first 15, 20 minutes of a game, we sort of struggle. If the writing's on the wall in the first 5 or 10 minutes, you have to sort of adjust in-game management, and we didn't see that. We kept on carried on playing the same sort of way. Yes, I know there's instances where we've struggled to play when we're playing 3 centre backs, but there has to be instances where you say, okay, for 10 minutes, it takes a captain or somebody else on the pitch to say, okay, you know what, for 10 minutes, let's just shut shop, shore up a little bit, and go again. Because at the end of the day, we're a better side. We're playing against a side that won the last away game was in November against Burnley. Come on, if they're beating us and our midfield's getting bypassed every single time and they're creating overloads on that side, you have to be able to manage the in-game management. And I'm struggling to see why we always have to go basketball, football. And yes, look, I know I came up last week and I said, you know what, no, end of the day, I can still sit here and say now and say, you know what, end of the day, I said we still miss chances. And that ultimately cost us the game. But I agree with you to an extent now that, you know what, there has to be a in-game management at times in terms of tactically. We're just so rigid in our approach. You have to be able to move and say, you know what, tweak it slightly in game. And we haven't been seeing that since Klopp's been there, and that's just the way it is. We've not been good enough, Asim.
We're relying on moments, Asim. Last season at Anfield, it was the same result when Crystal Palace went 1-0 up. Nunez gets sent off, and then Diaz again. It was a moment, wasn't it, where he goes for a dribble, shoots on that same style that he likes from the left, and he scores a wonder goal, right? And that lifted us. Today we were looking for that moment, and some of the clear-cut chances today in the second half, they're inexcusable. You can't keep saying, "Oh, the keeper's had a blinder." It went straight at him. What more can a striker do? That Darwin Nunez chance at 1-0 down today, you've got to be burying that, hit it against the ground, do something different than what you've been doing all season, because you can't keep being the same excuse. Oh, the keeper's played a blinder, the keeper saved that point-blank range. Those excuses are just. That's not good enough. I said it before, 11 goals this season in the league for Darwin Nunez. That's not a £75 million striker at all. At all. Yes, his overall gameplay has improved. Yes, he's getting involved more. Yes, he can go from the left or he can go on the right. It's not good enough.
You mentioned his overall gameplay. With all due respect to Darwin Nunez, I have not seen chaos over the last 2 months. I don't know where this chaos has gone because I am yet to see this chaos. Yes, granted, at the start of the season, middle of the season, when we needed him we needed him in the side. Why? Because he was creating the spaces for the other strikers. He was creating these chances. He was a thorn in the opposition. Where's the last? With all due respect, over the last 2 months, where's the chaos? Because I've not really seen it, boys. And in terms of finishing,
I've got a question for you.
I'm just saying it exactly how it is.
And listen, I'm fully on with you as well, Gene. Like, if you're going to have the chaos, you need to bring goals to the table as well, Asim. Yes, the Europa League, 8 in 9, however many he's got in the League Cup, whatnot, fine. But 11 in the league, that's a poor return. I'm sorry, it really is. Asim, my question to you, let's rewind things last summer. We get Endo in, we get Gravenberch in, we get Szoboszlai in. If someone had offered you, and I know it's different now before Gene goes off on one, I know it's different context right now. If someone offered you last season back into the top 4 and a trophy, would you have taken that?
In hindsight,
because that's what people are saying to me. People on Twitter are saying that, wait a minute, guys, we're ahead of schedule, No,
I don't buy that.
Let's not understand how regressive we were last season. There has been progress.
I don't buy that. Football doesn't give you any guarantees, Avi. What's to say that this summer there's a chance of Trent to leave? There's a chance for Van Dijk to sort of consider his future. There's a chance for Salah to leave. We already know the boss is going. We don't have any guarantees. And then we're going to be talking about this word again: transition, new manager, new environment, new style.
It's obviously going to happen. obviously going to happen. We are going for a transition, Asim. But what
I
Avi's
know,
said,
but we don't know how
Avi's
big the
asking-
transition is.
but what Avi's asking you is if would you have taken top 4 in a trophy? Because you've always said Liverpool.
Of course, you would have taken it after last season.
But my
But
point
now,
is,
I don't think you can think like that. We're in a
no, but
tight
At this
race.
point now, you can't.
expectations
you
within the
cannot,
season
you cannot
change.
take
They
that
shift.
now.
Expectation within the season shift.
Of
Anything
course,
other, anything other than the league title now is a failure of a season, because we were 1.5 points to the top of the league. Now you can say that was February, that was January, and there was many twists and turns to go. But we've been talking about Liverpool like we're the best team in the world in European football and all this nonsense, all right? Well, and when we should have been sitting on the fence and let the football do the talking, like Avia said, like I have said, and like China said before, Asim, and you've said it as well. We have been very, very lucky to be in the position we're in, because you can't keep 2-1 coming back from 1-0 down. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. And today is a perfect example of if you keep going 1-0 down in games, there's going to be a time where you're not going to come back. And Atalanta, when we got absolutely battered, was one of those games where we're gonna have this kind of result. It's gonna happen. The way we play allows teams to create chances, and sooner rather than later, there's a team that's gonna come to our ground and put those chances away. That's what happened on Thursday. Today was exactly the same. Our finishing cost us, and poor defensive minds, poor defensive structure. Everything's all over the place. It's chaos, and we rely on moments, and it's not sustainable. It's what I've been saying for the whole season.
Asim, is
Shall
there a
we
way?
go through the
Sorry.
super
Super
chat?
chats, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Big up Jamie Phillips, by the way. On a separate, I was on a UFC channel with him, Callum Sanderson from Coppish and Luke Tanner. So it was a good little chat, and they do watch long. So go and follow Jamie Phillips as well on his football channel. Rain Kawaja from Twitter as well. We've gone back and forth over the years, but Salah and Nunez should be dropped. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. Salah and Nunez should be dropped. We're better now without Salah in the team. Maka, VVD, Hendo all look shattered because they've been overplayed. Gene, Salah and Nunez should be dropped for Atalanta to begin with.
They shouldn't be dropped. They should be rested. But you know, if you don't,
Why
mind,
should they be rested? Do you think that tie is dead and buried?
we need a medical.
No, wait, sorry. That's that question not to you. That question to Asim.
We need a medical. I think these guys need a rest, because there was some tired, mentally fatigued players today. Maka, I turned to the lad next to me and said, McAllister, especially for the first 20 minutes, was making some passing mistakes that you don't sort of accustom him to be doing. And I said, if this lad's not on it, then we got no chance. And it's sometimes mental fatigue, too emotional, too quick. It was a sort of accumulation of everything, all these collective traits. When you're panicky, there was a 10-minute moment in the second half, Javi, where we were trying to play rugby, like get the scrum on, go down the middle, there was no patterns. We lost the way that you sort of designed to play because of the emotion, because of the situation.
It's been like that in the last 2 weeks.
True, but this is what
anything. It's coming out even more now in the last 2 weeks because we've slipped up now.
This is what you guys have been talking about. When was the last time at Anfield, or even an away game, but especially at Anfield, where it was 0-0? It was 0-0 going into the last 10 minutes.
Sarib, you're shaking your head.
I'm going to let you take this one, because someone's called you out and saying, I'm sorry, if you're going to call out Darwin's chance, then you simply have to call out Jota's chance, Jones' chance, Salah's chance, and even Lucha's chance. The point is, Avi, I'm going to let you take this, but the point is, Nunez does this week in and week out. He does this every single week. He costs us point after point. You could say he gets the result against Newcastle. What did he do at Old Trafford? Chance after chance in the FA Cup, last week against Brighton, today. Like, come on, man. He's taking a piss, bro. He's cost us more than he's gained us. This is nonsense, man. Of course, we're going to call out the guy that's literally costing us games. Of course, the guys like Jota, if he had half the chance that Nunez has, I guarantee we would have a lot more points on the board. It's very simple to understand.
I think you've answered it for me. Ismail Akram, thank you for tuning in. Keep tuning in and keep sending us your chats. I can't really respond to that. But Sarib, you were shaking your head because you think the Atlanta game's gone as well then?
Yeah, because let's be real, the way we're playing and the way we played, like, do you have any sort of optimism? You're going to say, oh, you have to believe.
No, there's always optimism. I mean, Atlanta, it's not as if Atlanta are top of the league in Serie A. They're like 6th or 7th. You know, they've had a good season. Under Don Gasparini. But are you telling me that just play a second string?
What do you mean?
Like play a second string team, not of the reserves, but just swap it around a lot?
No, of course not, because I do want us to have a goal, but I think that tie is done. I'm being honest. The way we're playing, they just suck all the belief and optimism out of you. I don't know how you can really believe when you watch that shit week in, week out. But the tie is time seems to be over, but we've miraculously come back in the past with worse teams. I guess we kind of have to see, but it's this football club does this to you.
Listen, bottom line, you rest the players, Avi. You don't send them there. We've got 6 games to go. Forget the Europe. It's not the Champions League, it's the Europa League. I don't give a shit about the Europa League. We're 3-0 down, going away to Atalanta, who are won 11 out of 12 at home. I can't see you overturning that tie. So what do? You see, there's so many people that are saying that these players are tired, lethargic, all that sort of stuff. So what do? They don't travel. Leave them at home. It is what it is. We've got 6 games to go and try and win them 6 games. That's what it is. Why would you take these players away and then next week complain that, this player's tired, this player's tired? Who gives a shit about the Carabao, this flipping worthless cup, whatever it is right now, when we're 3-0 down? Nobody cares. We won a title. We've got 6 games to go. That's what we should be going for. Yes, City are top, but at least that's might be achievable if City drop points. I know it's a flipping long shot right now, but that's just the way it is. And in terms of dropping players, right, Darwin Nunez with 100%, I would start Diego Jota over Darwin Nunez. Mohamed Salah, I will give him the next game. Right, on the left-hand side, I wouldn't drop him, but Diego Jota has to start. Jota, Diaz, or Jota, play them. You have to start him. And Nunez, I'm sorry, you're on the bench. Jota will come back. He deserves a chance. Before he got injured, he was banging form. So let Jota go. I want to see Jota and Salah. One of the biggest things that we had at the start of the season, I felt as though Nunez and Salah had an understanding. There was times they were playing together. They were telepathic. They were creating chances, creating goals. I don't see anything.
Just be consistent.
What I would say.
Let me just get through a few more super chats because there are quite a few. One from Andy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the super chat. Play Mac as a 6. Gakpo, Elliott, Jota, bench the rest. One from Selection. Thanks for tuning in as usual. Our build up is shocking. It's so for all season. It's done for all season.
Our build up
shocking so far all season. Dexter Baker, you never walk alone. Nunez, there must be a little troll. Andy again, is it time Elliott starts right centre midfield? His chemistry with Salah up top. Promo super chat, do it for Klopp. Klopp should be doing it for us. He's the one running away with a year on his contract. Poor tactics, poor game management. Asim, sorry, you were going to say something?
Yeah, Gene mentioned, look, where is the chaos of Darwin Nunez? I think it's important to provide a bit of perspective. I think when Salah is not playing, look, I don't know why you're doing that, Sarib.
Because he misses 7 to 8 chances a game. What context?
Oh, yeah, he said he's not providing the chaos, for God's sake. Do you know what chaos is? Freedom. Freedom. He doesn't have the freedom. And I'm not defending him here because he's a striker and he's a 9 and he's a box player and he should be finishing these chances. Whoever tries to defend Darwin Nunez is finishing is a liar. Let's put it in simple terms, or just deluded. It's one of the other. But you have to understand is, Gene, when you said, look, I want the chaos, is because when Salah's playing, he doesn't have the freedom. So they want him to be a bit more positional. That's all it is. And you don't want him because he's that kind of guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. He goes to the right, he goes to the left. But when it's that, he just doesn't have the freedom. When he's obviously playing with Gakpo, he's playing with, what's his name, Jota. Then the interchanging between the two strikers is there as well. He doesn't have that freedom with Diaz. Diaz, we've been using as a touchline winger, especially when Gomez is playing over the last 2-3 months. But yeah, look, I'm not defending him, but I just wanted to point that out in terms of structure. Maybe the reason why he doesn't have the freedom and you haven't been seeing this Darwin Nunez chaos. What I will also say is the first time it was evident this season that this team, even at the end, obviously would be obvious to state the fact that these guys were emotionally drained and they're showing big signs of mental and physical fatigue. But even during the game, honestly, I think Van Dijk was the leader out there today. Robertson, in terms of his performance, I think he can come off that pitch with his head held high. Even during the games, he was trying to rally the troops, but I don't know. I think maybe we've been waxing lyrical about how young and fresh this midfield is. And at the business end of the season, maybe it's lacked a bit of maturity.
I think it's maturity. I think go on, sorry, Gene.
We spoke about the midfield, and I'll come to you for this. Look, I'm not going to sit here and I want to speak about a certain midfielder, Endo, in terms of his performance today, and especially over the last couple of weeks. Endo just hasn't been the same sort of player that we saw, let's say, 2.5 months ago, where he was the combative midfielder who was winning the balls. He was the first to the second balls. We're not seeing that same Endo. And I know, look, there's I don't want you to come and have a go at him in terms of, look, I know he only cost 17 million and he probably isn't the one that we wanted. But in terms of his performance levels, Avi, it definitely looks like he's dropped at least 2 levels. He's second to every sort of ball. He gets bypassed so easily, and he's just not at the races every time I've seen him play over the last few weeks.
He's not. I think the season is. I think it has taken its toll. I thought his best game was the League Cup final, where he gets a kick. Obviously, he's playing a bit of catch up. Comes back into the team and he's not looked the same. I thought he was exposed against United in both games. Asim. I thought Mainu. I thought they were getting past him quite with ease. Especially Kobe Mainu, who is a talent. But I think Endo. I think just the legs have gone. I think that role is. It's a demanding role, isn't it, at Liverpool? That 6th role, it can be a lot of running. It is pressing high. It is being on the opponent's heels. You can't expect it week in, week out. It is his first season. Yes, he's 31 and he's had the experience, but listen, any player, and he went to the Asia Cup as well with Japan. It's gonna take its toll. He needs a rest, but there is no one else that can come in. Yes. We've been flirting McAllister at the best of times in the 6. I think that's becoming a bit problematic for us now as well. Like McAllister, 1 minute he's a 6, 1 minute he's an 8. Even in-game management, sometimes we push him to the 8, push him to the 6. We need a recognized position for him now, because I think that's affecting. I know it's not affected his games prior to last week because his stats were brilliant as the 8. But I think we do need to address that issue again in the summer. Whether Bajicic comes back, I think there's a comment there that he should come back in. But I don't think the club, or I don't think Klopp or the coaches want to bring in Bajicic so quickly, because he's only just come back after literally 7-8 months out. People are saying 4 up front now, maybe Jota, Asim, Diaz, Salah, Nunez, maybe.
Mark and Elliott as the 2 6s.
2 6s.
You want to lose 8-0, wouldn't it?
Kaden, good DL, man, Kaden.
Kaden, when was the last time Harvey Elliott played in a 6? I don't see it. But Avi, before we go to Sarib, I think Sarib deserves a segment on Endo. I think I just wanted to point out Unks is in the house. And big up to Shahid Bhai as well. It's bloody 2-3 o'clock in Pakistan. I think those sleeping pills are not working. He's still awake, tearing his hair out. But big up to Shahid Bhai, a big supporter of BNR and a personal friend of ours as well. Unks is in the building, who actually we met, and with his friends who traveled all the way. Avi, one of them was coming from California today. He came from California. Yeah, he was asking about where Avi's from, and I didn't have a clue. And he says, give Hassan and the boys a shout out. They came all the way from Houston, Texas. Imran, I think, was his name, was nice. From Houston. But yeah, the boys were absolutely gutted, and they chose a game, didn't they? They chose a game, but yeah, it was one of those days that the guys, they absolutely loved it, the whole experience of Anfield, but those 90 minutes, they were saying...
I thought the pitch was flat again. I don't know how it looked being at the pitch side. Asim, was it flat again? Was the atmosphere, could it have been better?
Of course it could have been better. Anxiety, nervousness, it was all over the ground. I'll be honest with you, but when you go down 1-0 so early, they have a first sort of 5-10 minutes of pulling up the team and getting behind them, but those chances are gonna put so much nervousness and anxiety in the crowd, and it showed. And if the players were like that, and so were the fans, but I don't know. We've had a 9.8 XG over the last 3 games, and we've only got 2 goals, and one of them was a penalty. It's absolutely shocking. It's
embarrassing. That's what it is. I was about to say borderline. It's not borderline. It is embarrassing. And for a team that we've scored over 100 goals now, I believe, right? We've scored 105. But when at the crucial time, we haven't. Gene, you said that you would swap it around for Atalanta. You think the game's done and dusted. I know you're still going to believe come Thursday, but you've said that let's go for the league now. We've got nothing to lose now. That's it. But do you really see us winning 6 out of 6? Because that's where we are now. We've got to win our next 6.
I don't see us winning 6 out of 6. Our performances over the last 2 months have proven that we're not good enough to win flipping 2 games on a trot, let alone 6 in a row. But the only way you have to see it is just take every game as it comes and see what happens, and just look, it's hit and hope, and that's what I'm just hoping. I'm living in hope right now. I see this team play football. I don't see anything amazing about this football side. We concede goals left, right, and centre. Our midfield is absolutely knackered. Our strikers can't finish. where is the positivity really going to come from? Our fans have been flat for the last 2 games. So that just tells you as a football club where we're at right now. But what I will say is, all it takes is one game where we win, and let's just pray City drop or lose a game somehow, and the mood can change very, very quickly. I know Trent's coming back; he's just come back. Alisson's come back, right? And Jota's just come back. And maybe in a game or 2 times, if we can get, let's win 2 games in a row, then maybe something is possible. But again, right now, if I'm sat here thinking this team is going to go and win 6 in a row, I simply can't see anything happening like that, because it just I don't see anything. I don't see any plans of play. I don't see anything tactically. The players are simply not good enough right now. And when we leak goals left, right, and center.
Do you think
When we speak about the defense, because this defense is pissing me off. And I know we spoke about in terms of we just concede chance after chance after chance, and it's really, really beginning to get to me now, because we've got arguably Kanate, Van Dijk. We sit here lauding them every single week. We've got the best defender in the world. We've got Ibu Kanate, one of the best young defenders in the world. We've got arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. We've got arguably the best right back in the world. We've got all of this, yet we concede chance after chance after chance against mediocre sides. And yes, the structure, it obviously has an impact on this side, because obviously we attack. But there has to be something more. These players can't be as good as what we make them out to be. That's the simple truth. We probably laud our players as Liverpool fans to be up there, when deep down we know that, you know what, they're probably levels that are about here, but we've taken it that far up, thinking, you know what, they're so good. But shit's hit the fan now, and we've realised that, you know what, these players ain't as good as what they're supposed to be. Because Ivo Konate's bloody availability is a joke. And these things have to be called out.
I've been very vocal in the last sort of like month or so with Konate. Look, don't get me wrong, this ain't no hate on Ibu, right? I think he's brilliant. I think that Paris performance, I still wax lyrical over it, because I thought that was single-handedly one of the best performances from a central defender, even though we lost that game, but I thought he was superb on the night. Obviously being a Parisian too. I think it's a big worry. Asim, I don't think he's available for 33, 34 games of the season in a league season, Konate. And for a defense to be successful, for a team to be successful, you need a settle 2. Van Dijk's going to be 34 in July. Is it a position in the summer? Is it 2 positions in the summer that we need to go out and buy 2 centre-backs rather than just look at 1?
Of course, Avi. Of course. Matip is done. He'll go. And then you can't trust Ibu. And with all due respect, you probably can't trust Kwanzaa to go throughout the season, given 7, 8 out of 10 performances every single week. He's a young kid. He's got so much development to go, and it's unfair on the kid, let's be honest. And I'm all up for, I don't really have I have more of a European / South American type of view. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And I don't really look at the age, but in terms of experience, it's priceless. So you can't expect to go into a season with Kwanzaa your first choice centre-back. It just doesn't make sense. I think we need 2. We 100% need 2. There's a question mark on Joe Gomez's centre-back days, which I'm probably more inclined for him to be a utility player at right back and left back. I think he's got a really good, vital role to play, especially with all these new structural systems that's, sort of really popular within the scientific coaches these days. But we can't put all the responsibility on Kwanzaa. 2 centre-backs in the summer, Avi, are absolutely critical. And if it is Amarim who's going to come in, he loves aerial duels, big physical beasts. And Ibu's one. He just needs to manage him. I think Ibu, with all due respect, with his looking at his body and his muscles, I think he needs to be managed throughout his career. I can't see Ibu going through one season where he doesn't pick up an injury. Why? I like watching a lot of tennis, and I was a big Rafael Nadal fan. And you comparing him to someone like Roger Federer. Roger Federer is so easy on the eye, it's so effortless. But look at someone like Konate. It's on and off the ball, pure intensity, pure dueler, pure beast, and we love him for it. And then obviously put him, sort of consider the actual extra workload that we want him to do, because we've got such a wonderful footballer in Trent that we don't want. He's the modern right back, so he's going to come into midfield and express himself. So the extra workload to cover him going into areas that he's going to have to make those challenges, impact injuries, overstretches, it's a massive, massive issue and a massive question mark. And it's one of the priorities for Liverpool come this summer.
Sarib, the cracks are kind of sort of opening up, and I think they've been open for a while. I think since the United FA Cup game. That listen, this team still needs a little bit of a restructuring. It still needs redevelopment. It still needs new players coming in. It's just not the centre back positions, though, is it, Sarib? In your eyes, where else do we need to look? Surely front three.
Look, now if I say we need new attackers, someone will come out and say, "Oh, but we're the top scorers in Europe." If I say we need new defenders, someone will come out and say, "Oh, we've conceded less goals than a team that's currently top of the league." So it's all context, to be honest with you. But the way we're playing, the way we look exposed, the midfield, the attack, defense, it's all a shambles. Everything just looks so wrong. And you made a point there about saying the cracks have started to show after the United game. The cracks are there well before the United game. Well before the United game. You don't go down 1-0 21 times out of 32 league games and say that the cracks only showed 3 weeks ago. It's nonsense. The cracks have been there all season. It's just that we've been coasting through games. And that's why I told Sheen last week, you got to analyze performance, not only just the result, because there's going to be a time where the result won't be the same as the performance. So the performance can be really shit, but you can get the result, but that will catch up to you. So you can play really shit, and then sooner rather than later, the result's not going to be what you want. And that's what happened today against Crystal Palace. Now, it's tricky to say because we score a lot of goals in Europe. We are the top scorers in Europe, but we don't concede many goals. But the way we're playing, we look so exposed at the back, and we get too many chances. Like Asim said previously, 67 shots, and we've only scored 1 goal from open play in the last 67 shots. It's embarrassing, Avi. It's embarrassing. It's not good enough. And we've all spoken about how good the 5 are as a collective, Jota, Gakpo, Nunez, myself included. And I'll hold my hands up, saying all those 5 are as a complete package are the best in European football. Well, this is the time to go and showcase it. And in the last 2-3 months, and maybe across the season as well, when it's come down to the chips, not to give you a little indirect, but when it's come down to the chips, it's not simply not been good enough. In the games we need them to step up, they haven't stepped up. Man City at home, so many chances to win the game. Old Trafford last week, so many times to win the game. Today, so many chances to win the game. That 5v1 against Arsenal lives rent-free in my head. That is 3 points in the bag. That's 2 extra points, which puts us currently level on points with Man City at the top of the league. That how does that not go in? 36 shots at home against Man United. These will cost us. Brighton 2-2 early in the season, 8 draws. Avi, it's not good enough to win the league. If you want to win the league, you don't draw 8 games. It doesn't happen. It does not happen.
Gene, I think with Arsenal on top, Gene, I think we've said they can be caught at. They will get caught. They will slip up. Today was a golden opportunity where if we had won, we open up a nice sort of lead over Arsenal. Emery, I thought, Villa are good enough to get a result. They did. But now we're chasing, like usual, we're chasing City again, which we know, yes, we take it to the last day, but unfortunately, and it's going to be probably for the 3rd time, I think we will take it to the last day where we're playing Wolves again as well. But before we get to the Wolves game, that's for another day. We're chasing City now, and they're probably on for another sort of unprecedented treble yet again. They've got the onus, they've got the momentum, haven't they, going into the last stretch? You're on mute, Gene. You're on mute.
And we were sat here last week, Avi, and I was speaking about City, and I was saying to Sarib, I don't give a shit about Arsenal. I care about Man City because they're the ones I worry about. And right now, we are ahead of Man City. Arsenal will drop. And my man was saying, no one's going to lose any games. Well, 2 of the 3 teams that he said, no, I'm going to lose again. Next 7 games, I've already lost 2 of them on Gaichuti, yeah? So just to let you know that. In terms of City, Avi, these guys have been there and done it, man. This was my biggest fear, was the day City
Once they get on top, yeah.
And now they're on top. And the way they're playing, they're beginning to score goals for fun. We were plus, I think, 6 on them 3 weeks ago. We're minus 2 or 3 on them, right? I think it's 2 right now, as things stand. In terms of goal scoring, goal difference. Sorry. And we're sat here now, and it's not even that. We have to hope that they lose a game, let alone flipping draw a game now. It's about them losing a game in the next 6. These guys have been there, done it, beat us, pipped us to the title 2 years on a trot. Sorry, 2 years out of them 3 years that we were fine for the title. And look, it's a tough ask because they're flipping C and they know how to win and they know how to do it. Look, they did it to Arsenal last season. They just serial winners in that sense. Yes, we can speak about their their 115 charges and all that sort of thing. But you can't knock them for when towards the business end, when it matters, their players step up, and they've shown that over the years, and it looks like they're showing this again. And we just have to hope and pray and live in hope that these clowns of a flipping shit of a club, Man City, flipping drop some points in the next few weeks. Can I see it happening? Probably not. I think they'll probably draw a game in the next 6, and they'll carry on. But yeah, it looks like two teams have bottled the league this day. Two teams that Sarib mentioned, Arsenal going to win it. And
just got a super chat that I've got to bring.
Is it Salis Werner? Is it Salis Werner?
I think Dexter Baker actually came for me because he said that I changed my tune over Nunez, and Sarib. Listen, Sarib has been very clear and concise about Darwin Nunez, and yes, everything Sarib has said about Darwin Nunez has come into fruition. No one will not give Sarib his dues. No one will not give Sarib his flowers. So Dexter, if you watch us enough, you will know that we do give Sarib his flowers. We do give him his dues. He also said that the top 3 will not lose another game, but we've lost fucking 2 today, Arsenal and Liverpool. But hey, you can get some wrong. But thank you for the super chat, Dexter Baker. Nice name, by the way. I do like the name Dexter. I'm not being disrespectful to you guys, but Sarib seems to be the most intelligent.
Why are you laughing for?
It's just the intelligent. It's just the intelligent comment. Intelligent football analyst and analysis.
Leave him alone. Why are you laughing? He gets cooked, but
and the youngest. Top class.
He deserves that comment. He deserves that comment.
I don't mind.
Who gave you who put the punji in it? Tell me, Sarib. Who put the punji in it? Which one of your friends has put a punji in it? Please, man.
I have no clue that is.
Yeah, man. Like, honestly, but listen, no, Dexter, honestly, listen. Sarib, you know what? Sarib reminds me of me when I was a lot younger and Sarib's age. He will just say how he feels. And look, I love the passion, and I will never, if I have ever been disrespectful to Sarib, I apologize to him on screen. And I have been disrespectful off the screen at times as well, at the best of times. But listen, he knows how much we love him. But look, everything that he has said, he's been spot on, especially about Darwin Nunez. Sarib, coming back to you about Jurgen Klopp, has he run his course at Liverpool? Has the timing come at the correct time? I don't want to be talking about this because we are going to give him a great farewell, but do you think it's sort of coincided a new change is upon us, which is needed? Hopefully if Jabi Alonso wasn't that man, Ruben Amorim was, I think, everyone's second choice. Do you think that it's come at the correct time because he still had a year to run on his contract?
You see, when the announcement came out, I think it was end of January after the Fulham game. Or was that February or January? It must have been around that time. When the announcement came after the Bournemouth game, sorry, I was just like, it didn't make any sense to me. And I said, if he did it at the end of the season, people will ask why. And if he did it during the middle of the season, people will also ask why. But why not leave it to the end of the season where you can say, right, okay, you want to leave the club, absolutely fine. The season's over. We're going to fight for the titles. I think Jurgen Klopp might have thought,
how can we leave a massive appointment like that till the end of the season? Tell me.
How
does that make sense?
He could have told the players, but why
United did.
The moment he tells the players, it's getting leaked.
Asim, Fergie did.
Huh?
Fergie did. Fergie second to last game. Fergie second to last game. He announced that he was leaving.
Yeah, and look what happened.
Yeah,
David Moyes went to Sydney. David Moyes went to Sydney and was taking selfies in Sydney because he couldn't believe his Man United manager.
Look.
What I saw in the summer of pre-season of that summer, it was David Moyes, taking selfies at the Sydney Harbour. That's all it was, and they could not attract anyone. They couldn't attract anyone. I think
you're telling me Liverpool Football Club.
They're after Tony Kroos that summer.
You're telling me Liverpool Football Club, who keep their business so quiet, we've got deals done like this with Fabinho.
Kieran's got a point as well. Social media.
Players want to know who the manager is, Sarib.
Kieran's got a point.
You're telling me Trent, Verge, Salah, who have contract negotiations planned in the next couple of months, a couple of weeks in some cases, I'm not going to ask Liverpool who the next manager is.
That's what I'm saying. Let me finish. It's never going to be an easy time. It's never going to be an easy time to tell the players that Klopp's going to leave. Whether that's at the end of the season, whether it's the middle of the season. There's never a right time to say that. But why couldn't that wait till the end of the season? Because I think Klopp used it as a motivator.
I mean, that's not my burner, by the way.
Oh, I imagine it is someone's burner, but it's fine. I don't trust my nonsense either, so I don't know why you're coming from.
Sarib, you were saying.
I don't trust it.
Go on, Sarib.
Go on, Sarib, sorry.
I think it's tricky to say whether Klopp's time's up. I think it's easy to say now after the loss against Crystal Palace, but then next week if we go and win 5-0 against Atalanta and go through the Europa League, we'll be crying out for Klopp to sign a 4-year deal. That's what football fans are like. We're all like that.
I tell you where I am.
Yeah, no,
Sarib.
I
I
agree.
think if we go on to win the league, I think it's a great farewell. I think if he leaves and we only have the League Cup to show for it, I still think it's okay. You know what? His last season, I think it was the right time to go. I don't think there's anyone that's gonna sort of dispute either way that he goes. Yes, if he wins the league, people say, oh, you know, we could have gone into the European Champions League next season, one more season under Klopp. You know, we've been in 3 finals. He deserves to win one more. But I think it's come at the right time.
I've been very if you go through my Twitter, there's tweets I've tweeted last season. I wanted Klopp to be gone in the summer because it was getting to a point where this guy was just running the same midfield, the same players year in, year out. As much as you want to blame FSG, he's the one that wanted to facilitate that Henderson 3-year contract. He's the one that didn't want to give Wijnaldum the 3-year Thiago deal, all this stuff. So you can say Klopp's also detrimental to Liverpool's downfall of the last couple of years, as much as he's been to Liverpool's rise, because last season was an absolute shambles. Losing 3-0 to Wolves, getting battered by Real Madrid. Yeah, we had a fancy, nice end to the season. Absolutely fine. We had injuries, we had problems. Absolutely fine. But that's the manager who sets out the team, sets out those players.
You wanted Klopp gone after one bad season.
I wanted Klopp.
What do you say, Jane?
Do you know that, Sergey?
Klopp gone after one bad season. The year before that, we got to nearly won everything, and then
we didn't. But we didn't. That's my point. We didn't. We won an FA Cup and the League Cup.
One bad season, yeah.
But we did. It's not one bad season though, Gene. It's not one bad season.
And we all know that we had so many injury issues last season, and one of the major factors in this was injuries. This season, the guys and somebody else would have come in and taken us away.
But we've had injuries this season. We've had injuries this season. We're 70.
One at a time.
We were unlucky with injuries this season. We were unlucky with. Look, I'm not gonna look, Avi. I might want Klopp gone at the end of the season, but I'm not going to allow people to say you wanted him gone before then. I'm sorry.
I did. I did.
No, but not many. I didn't see many Liverpool fans, bar Tom Little online, come out and say he wanted Klopp gone last summer. Because for me, that is just baloney. Anybody wanted Klopp gone last summer.
I wanted Klopp gone this
season. Yeah.
Who would have been your replacement last season then, Sarib?
That I can't answer. That I cannot answer now because
but if you wanted him, if you were so strong about having him gone last summer, you surely have got someone in mind that you want in charge. You can't say, "Oh, I don't know." Then
I'm gonna be honest. Like I'll probably get cooked. I didn't think that far ahead. I wanted him gone based on how poor we were last season because it didn't make sense.
You wanted him gone, but don't know who to replace him.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And I'll hold my hands up. I didn't know who I wanted to replace Klopp. It was such a weird situation with Liverpool that I didn't expect us to go and sell 4 midfielders, did I? Now, if we had stuck with Klopp,
guys, listen. Banter's all fine, but F words and effing this and effing that. Come on, guys, we're better than that on this channel. Let's just cool it off. Yes, Sarib gets a little bit of heat. We all do. I get heat from my ITK show, but let's just keep it clean, guys. Come on, please.
Sarib's got a tough chin, man. He'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
It's very nice skin. Go on, Sarib.
I don't even know what I was saying, man. I don't even know what I was saying.
No, and I look. I get that doubts. You can start having doubts when you see the same repetitive football from last season, the injuries included. You can start having doubts when it's a trophyless season. When you drop out of the top 4, you are completely right. But my question wasn't okay. If you were so strongly adamant that you wanted him out last summer before the spending, before the rebuild of the midfield decisions and whatnot, surely there would have been a name on your mind that thought, okay, realistically, he could come in and do a better job.
I just think change was necessary that summer, whether it was the players or the manager. We got the players instead, and we've reaped the rewards of it this season. I did not expect.
Once his Punji back. Oh, brilliant! Sorry.
I did not expect Liverpool to go and completely shuffle their midfield because it never happened before. If you understand what I'm trying to say, it happened one time, but that was like 4 years ago. So I didn't expect Klopp to go and then get rid of all his midfield and do it in one season because his track record by doing that wasn't very good. So for me, it was about getting rid of the manager because it was he was the reason why those players were still at the football club. But then we didn't. The manager stayed. He signed a new contract a couple months before that, and then we got new players in, and we're reaping the rewards of this. And that's what I'm going to talk to Chin about this. Chin, you said last season we had injuries, and that's why our season was shit, right? But we've also had injuries this season, but we're currently challenging for the title. So what one is it, Chin?
I'll tell you what it is. Our score's a lot better than last season. If you look at our start, one second, no, let me finish. You talk about last season, we had a lot of players that were, our squad was nowhere near as good enough. This season, we've seen a load of young players come through. Bradley's come through, Curtis Jones has taken his game to another level, Harvey Elliott's taken his game to another level, and we bought 3 or 4 more players in. Our squad is a lot more suited. This season, we go into the season with 5 strikers. We never had that in previous seasons. Darwin Nunez, it was last year, it literally just come through the door, first season, so it's going to take us time. We were actually going through a change. We've signed Gakpo. We were going through a change in our forward line. And let's face it, last season, our defense wasn't that great. Van Dijk was nowhere near the levels. You got to understand is where you were last season and where you are this season. We're a completely different side to what we were last season. Squad-wise, our midfield is completely different to what it was last season. We're a more possession-based side. We've got players in the midfield who are actually good footballers in terms of Szoboszlai. I know he hasn't been great over the last few months, but McAllister has been unbelievable. We never had these players in previous seasons. And plus, another thing, Fabinho, we didn't plan for Fabinho to go. It's just the way we got offered the 40 million and we took it. And in this season, look, we've done amazingly well this season. This was my issue. Klopp had, in terms of last season, I can't accept any Liverpool fan from last season saying they wanted Klopp out, because that will not sit with me. Why? Because the guy had done so much. One second, the guy had done so much for us as a football club. He had too much credit in the bank. Yeah, for us to say Klopp out. So that doesn't sit right with me.
I didn't exactly say Klopp out. I wanted him gone. I wasn't vocal about saying I want Jurgen Klopp to leave, get him out. He's the problem. I wanted change last summer. And for me, it was easier to replace one than five different things, because I do think
a manager wasn't going to replace. Wait, 1 second. So you think a manager coming in was not going to replace the likes of Fabinho, Milner, all these players? Of course, he's going to replace them. Man, they were over the hill.
I can't say that for sure, Gene. I can't say that for sure.
Crying out loud, man. You're like, how can you not say that for sure? The whole world knew our midfielder was gone last season. It should have been, yes, granted, Klopp should have done that a year before in terms of players. I can accept that. But don't say that.
That's my point.
It
should have been done ages ago.
5 players.
It should have been done ages ago, because if we replaced the players the season before that, we wouldn't have that mess last season. And that's down to the manager.
You just said it's either Klopp or the 5 players. You wanted Klopp gone.
Yeah,
that's because your words.
Yeah, because I thought it would be easier to replace 1 than 5. I did not expect Liverpool to get rid of all their midfielders one summer, Gene.
3 of them were out of contract.
We didn't do that for years, Gene. We didn't do
3
that
of them out of contract. How many were you expecting to come in? 1.
Gene, I did not think Liverpool would do that. Well, you're not understanding. We have such a bad track record of holding on to player. Klopp has such a bad track record of holding on to play. He wanted Firmino to stay. He offered James Milner a new contract, and you think
he didn't know this season, did he?
Klopp wanted James Milner to stay. He wanted Firmino to stay. If it wasn't down to them, they would still be at this club. If Milner accepted that 1-year extension,
3 players, midfielders were out of contract, and
he offered Milner a new contract. He offered James Milner a new deal. He wanted to stay. He wanted to keep James Milner and Roberto Firmino. Who's that down to?
Move on, Avi, man. I can't be asked.
How can you move on? You can't say things and not let me respond to it, Gene.
Oxlade changed. His contract was gone. He wasn't going to stay. Naby Keita's contract was gone. He wasn't going to stay. There's 2.
Gene, he offered James Milner a new contract. He's 37 years old. He offered James Milner a new contract. The guy can't even get into Brighton's team, but we're trying to win the league next season.
He was playing cover fullback at that time. He was hardly playing in the midfield. If anything, he was playing cover fullback.
Gee, you're not understanding.
Super chats, guys. Let's have a little breather, guys. Uncle Albert has come in. Albert Buffalo, thanks, Uncle, wherever you're tuning in from. Not good enough. We lack quality to win the league. Another super chat from Albert. Sarib is right. Klopp should have gone last season. Gagandeep Pawar, I'm pretty sure I've seen you around previous channels I've been at, but thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Button Red and make sure you spread the word. LFC are horrific under pressure. History shows cultural changes needed from top to bottom is in its hierarchy. More ruthlessness and proactive, less sentimentality, and it's all about the journey. Klopp is equal to overrated. I think that's a bit of a controversial one. I'll
tell you what, Avi, there won't be any sentiments or loyalty this summer.
No, but I also think that there's huge pressure that people are trying to pile on now with Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, that they're going to come in and everything's going to be set and straight. Listen, look, this season we might have been fast-tracked, okay? But once you're in a position where you've got one hand, and I do truly believe that 2 weeks ago we had one hand on that Premier League title, and we have let it slip. I don't want to say it, but we have bottled it to some extent. We have bottled it. Today was an example where, if anything, you couldn't get up for Atlanta. You surely got to get up for this. You know, get up for the manager, get up for the crowd, get up for the fans. You know, this is your opportunity to go and score, put the pressure on Arsenal. And we knew Arsenal succumbed to pressure today. Maybe if they knew that Liverpool won, maybe they would have given that extra 5-10%. But how are you telling me in the space of a week, Asim, we've picked up nothing? We picked up a point against United, lost against Atlanta, and we've lost today. If I gave you those 3 games 2 weeks ago, we would have said we've eased past Atlanta and we've got 6 out of 6. We would have been 5 clear of Arsenal today. So I don't know if it was another word for bottle job. If that's not a bottle job, I don't know what else is. We're so quick to say to other teams that Arsenal bottled it last season. Arsenal bottling it this season. They're going to bottle the European Cup. Well, you know what? We've bottled it. We've bottled it in the Europa League against Atlanta. You know, and we were talking weeks ago that the best team in the Europa League should be in the Champions League. We said that Liverpool are probably the best team to go up against the Arsenals and the Manchester Cities in the Champions League, but we didn't. We didn't at all.
Leverkusen wiped the floor with us. That's nonsense. Leverkusen will rip us apart. Playing like that, where? But Asim, what we have done today, we have bottled it because we have had over 200 people in here, and we have not once said, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Guys, 205 people in this chat. 1 hour and 51 seconds.
It just doesn't seem right, Sarib. We're all hurting.
I know we're hurting, but
they'll do it themselves when they see this passion, when they see these guys are just speaking their minds, speaking their hearts, and letting it all out. They'll like the show. I'm sure they will.
Sarib, a comment from Jay. Thanks for tuning in. Always one of the regulars, week in, week out. Do the players want it, Avi? They aren't showing it at the moment. Sarib, do the players really want it? Do they really want to get this sort of last dance over the line?
No, I don't think that's true because we are creating chances. That's fine. We are creating so many chances. We are having clear-cut chances. They're just not going away. And us missing chances are not down to Jurgen Klopp. Someone came out today and said, "Oh, it's Klopp's fault because he signed the players." Absolute bullshit. Because those players have also put us into the position where we are in the league this season. Let's not forget that we can still win the league and the Europa League. And that's 3 trophies this season. So we are 71 points with 6 games to go. You told me this start of the season, I would have snapped your hand off. Look, the players do want it. You can see they do want it because they are trying. They are trying to win the game. They're doing their absolute best. It's just right now the penny's not dropping. And who knows when that penny will drop. I don't want to sit here and say the character's not right because it is. They are trying. 67 shots it is trying in a game, Avi.
The problem, you know what the problem is, Sarib? They want it too much.
That's that. I think the emotion is too much for them. Jurgen Klopp
overcompensating
down the Anfield games. I think. Yeah.
Overcompensating,
over trying, the lack of conviction in what your sort of fundamentals. And this is what I'm trying to talk about earlier, Avi. There was a moment in the game, at least I think it was 75 between 85 minutes, where Liverpool were just trying to barge their way through the middle. And they just forgot how they had a good football inside. We've got some good footballers, and they like some Trent and McAllister started coming into the game. Harvey Elliott came on, but yeah, it just became panic mode, absolute panic mode, where we had to get 2 goals. And look, a point would have been okay. Take the draw. Declan Rice. I'm not trying to be a pessimist. Declan Rice said, "Look, when you see a 0-0 scoreline, don't just absolutely expose yourself and take a defeat. Just take the point and move on and say you had a bad day." We would still be ahead of Arsenal. We still would be ahead of Arsenal. And if it was only how many points are City ahead of us? 2, 3 points effectively with the goal difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it would still been 2 points if we had that point today. But sometimes you just have to take your medicine and move on to the next week. There's still 6 games to go. And if I'm really, really honest, I still think City will drop points. But I don't. After today, the manner of defeat, the manner of how much that mental fatigue was evident today on that pitch. And you saw it at the end, hands in the heads and,
it's deflation.
It's deflation. Yeah, it was. And it was sad to see. It felt like the last day of the season somehow, honestly, because it was a massive, massive moment because I know we played first, but at the end of the day, on paper, Villa were going to the Emirates. And, I know that, they sort of lie down for City, but they weren't going to lie down for Arsenal, especially Emery going to, the Emirates. But they've done.
He would love that today, by the way. Emery would have loved that today because the abuse that he got from day one from Arsenal fans. Yeah, even to this day, he still gets abused for his little stint that he did at Arsenal. He would be laughing today. He's smiling to the hill today with that result. Absolutely put on a masterclass against his fellow Spaniard. And this ain't that you said about all. I know you give them the plaudits, but today nothing gave me more satisfaction. Right? If I was going to get a small kind of satisfaction today, a little bit of positivity today, it was that Emery got the better of Arsenal at their fucking ground as well. Absolutely. That's what was absolutely brilliant. Coming back to you, Asim, you've been saying to me all season, you've been hashtagging.
I just say something. It's been 1 hour and 5 minutes. Sarib hasn't mentioned Arsenal once in the show so far.
No, we're coming to that now because the last sort of 10, 15 before we
won today.
Arsenal won today.
You know, if Arsenal won today, I think Prince Charles would have got in touch with Sarib. He would have knighted him today. Sarib, you would have come on with an Arsenal shirt on.
Shut up, boys, man. I already get enough of it in the comments. I'm getting enough.
No, listen. As I'm coming back to you all season, I think after the Newcastle game, which was very early on, you asked me a question. I said, are we winning the league, Abby? And I said, I can't see it this season. But you said, you better get on that train because we're going to do a mad one. And a mad one is a word that's been associated with you. And listen, I'm still on that train. I still am.
Good to know.
Maybe one leg out of that train, but I'm still on that. I'm still on that northern line. But
I'm pulling you back in. Don't worry, Abby. I'm not closing the window on you.
All seriousness, with Atlanta on Thursday, with 6 games to go, are we still doing a mad one?
Gene doesn't think so. There's your answer. Look, joking aside.
Listen, Asim, I'm. It's not that I don't believe.
Now it's going to be a joke.
No. Joking aside, Avi.
I always believe.
You look. We need a miracle. Nobody said this was going to be easy, Avi. A week and a half in football is a long time. And I know, City were in third gear, put it into second gear in the space of a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden they find themselves at the top of the league. And that's what championship teams do. All of a sudden, City, 2 weeks ago, everyone was saying, even their own fans, big accounts, big personalities, only even on the overlap, and was saying, we're not the same, we just don't look the same, we're not playing the same, Guardiola is not playing the same, this maybe is too much of an ask of getting 4 titles in a row, the treble, all these statements. But all of a sudden, they find themselves in the box seat, and everyone's saying it's City's to lose, and which it is. They're a champion team, they know how to win without even playing the best football, and that's what champions do, and they're the team to beat, no doubt. Liverpool and Arsenal bottled it today, but only a week and a half ago, we were 4 points ahead of City, and everyone's going to go at me and say, it can't be done, City will never bottle it, just like Arsenal and Liverpool did today. But like I said, I think City will drop points because of the intensity of the Champions League games. The Real Madrid tie, they're favourites, no doubt. They'll probably go through, then they've got Bayern Munich or Arsenal in the semi-final. They will drop points. I think you don't have the confidence in us, especially after today. And that's why I think you have to rule out Atalanta. You have to just, if we pull out a miracle, and that's what we need.
We scored 5 there before, Asim.
We have, but probably with our best team. I don't think we play our best team. And I'll be very, very angry if we play our best team.
I think Jota starts. Jota
starts. Gakpo starts. And I would play Harvey Elliott on the wide right.
Sarib, coming on to you, because I know you're a big favourite of his, but do you think Gakpo gets ahead of Nunez right now?
I get ahead of Nunez right now. It's not even a discussion. I didn't want to bring up Gakpo because the comments have been calling me an Arsenal fan the whole show. They're going to cook me for saying Gakpo this, but it's like everything I've been saying about.
No, I agree with you. I would give Gakpo a go as well now.
This guy in the last 3 games has come.
Wait, on the 9.
No,
yeah. I wouldn't play him on the left.
I would put Gakpo on the left and put Jota centrally. That's what I would do. So the Gakpo and Jota can interchange.
So you're Diaz and Nunez then. I thought that today's substitution of Diaz instead of Salah play was very telling.
I was a bit iffy about
I thought that was very telling. I thought Diaz was the only one that was giving a bit of aggression, running with the ball, trying to do stuff. I thought that was a bit of a political play from Jurgen. I didn't like it at all. I don't think he deserved it. Another thing was Darwin's body language to throw the black band onto the floor as well. I thought that was I'm not going to say the word, but I thought that was lacked a bit of class from Darwin. Yes, he's frustrated, just like we all are. Imagine us watching from the TV, you lot were in the stands and whatnot. I think everyone was frustrated, but there was no need for that. Sorry, Sarib.
I think I have to be real. Let me change what I said. Comment section, thank you for that, by the way. I would not drop Diaz. I would move Diaz to the right-hand side, play Jota and then Gakpo, because Salah as well, like as much as he's scoring goals.
You drop Salah in league games.
He has not, Asim.
What are you talking about the Atalanta game?
For me, generally, Salah in the lot since he's come back from injury, he has not been good performance-wise. I think as a Liverpool player, you should not be comfortable in 11. At a big club like Liverpool, you should not be comfortable in 11. Whether you play shit or not, play good. Your past doesn't define what you do now. And Mo Salah's done a lot of good for Liverpool, absolutely fine. But if you're playing really, really bad, and we needed to step up, which he's not been stepping up, by the way.
You can't drop Salah, Sarib.
But why not? Why?
Because he'll produce something out of nothing. If he's not having a good 60, 70, you bring him off. Yes. But I don't think if he's fit, I don't think you put him on the bench either. I don't think he'll take that.
I always believe that no player should be comfortable. No player should.
And I don't think but has he shown that he's ever been comfortable in the last 6, 7 years at Liverpool? No, he hasn't. He will keep on going. He will produce a moment of magic. It might not be over a course of 90 minutes. The consistency might be gone, but he will show us that one moment of magic that we need.
I mean, that's fine, Avi. But when was the last time he played well? Do you even remember the last time he had a good game?
You just said he's come back from injury, so it might take him 2-3 games to get back into tune again. It took Diaz the best part of what? And you were one of his biggest critics.
No,
it took Diaz the best part of 6-7 months to get to some kind of standard that we're seeing post 2024.
That's where it's very sticky for me, because the thing about Mo Salah, he's got 19 goals and 11 assists this season, but he's not been playing well, and he hasn't been playing well for a long time. And I'm going to keep consistent. Right? If Diaz wasn't playing well, I said he should be dropped, and I'm keeping the same energy. Salah's not been playing well for a very, very long time. If it's 1 or 2 games,
who would you play there?
Diaz
is in
on the right.
Yeah, what? Who else do we have? Elliot on the right hand side.
Give me a break, man.
You can't play Diaz on the right.
On the left.
You take everything away from his game. You're taking a lot from his game.
Games.
What do we do then, Sheen? What do we do?
Well, you need to get into yes, they're going through bad form. I can accept that one going out. You're moving half of our team around.
If you're saying Nunez should be dropped, if you're saying
20 minutes of football, you want him to start as a 9. You want Salah to go, and Diaz, who's had a decent, he's played decent on the left. You want to move him to the right. I'd rather play Elliot on the that side then. If I'm going to do it, because he's played there. But I'm not going to move Diaz just for. I don't want to drop Diaz.
I don't want to drop Diaz at this moment in time. I'm going to be honest.
Elliot out wide only works if Conor Bradley is playing, and that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen anymore, because I think hopefully he's okay, but it looks a bad one.
Diaz plays well on the right for me. He plays well on the right though.
I started 20 minutes today. With all due respect, let's not say he's in big form.
In what position? From what position?
He played well on the left. He played well on the left today.
I said that. He said good 20 minutes. Good 20 minutes.
But Sarib, it's not. But he still didn't score. Just like last week against United, he came on, played well, but he didn't score, did he?
20 minutes. You're making it out of
if you against Atlanta Anfield, against Atlanta, he played well, but he didn't get the 2-3 cameos that he's played, and you're saying he's played well. Yes, he's played well, but he hasn't contributed to a goal or an assist.
I'm gonna stick to the same thing I've been saying all season. How the hell do you expect the guy to just come off the bench, for 20 minutes and make something happen?
Jota's done it. Jota's been a super sub at times.
So
Nunez came on against Newcastle, 10-man Liverpool, and scored the winner. So it leveled up and got us the winner.
Gakpo came on the Carabao Cup against Fulham and got us the winner.
What did Gakpo do when he started against Chelsea in the final?
You can play
the place up. Come on,
you can play both sides.
I know. I'm saying Gakpo should start. I'm saying Gakpo should start against Atlanta, and then if he contributes,
look at Gakpo's pass. Gakpo off the left hand side puts a little Trivela pass through to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones puts it wide. If Curtis Jones scores that, which he should have done, you'll be saying, "Wow, Cody Gakpo off the left hand side. Wow, he should start. He should start." No, because of Curtis Jones misses. This argument's completely different, isn't it? Because Curtis Jones could have finished. Gakpo was the only attacker today that was getting into positions, beating a player, shimming past left.
I would start him. I would start him in the 9 though. I don't know what we're arguing.
So the guys played very well.
Play Jota on the right, and then you alternate. That's it. You alternate the front 3. We do that anyway.
No, because you can't say that this narrative. What's Gakpo done since he's come on the pitch? You put a pass through to Curtis Jones. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper. Curtis Jones puts it wide, and now this argument's completely different because Curtis
all
Jones
of us
missed the pass.
agree
What
that
is
he
this?
came on and played well for 20 minutes. Who's disagreeing with his performance today? What are you on about?
So he played well for
All
20
of us
minutes.
said that he had a good 20 minutes.
He played good for 20 minutes and he should have had an assist. So imagine what you could do if you
Well, I've nobody's having a go that Gakpo was shit. I thought Gakpo
because you said to me, Sarib, he's only had a good 20 minutes. He's only had a good 20 minutes.
you're playing every other player. But all I'm saying is,
Sarib, going by your theory, Harvey Elliott should start every week for Liverpool.
Harvey Elliott should be starting.
It's true, isn't it? Because why aren't you consistent with Harvey Elliott? Every time
Elliott's found himself a nice little role this season.
He should be starting. I said if he last week.
Harvey Elliott started against Atalanta, got hooked off after 45 minutes.
Harvey Elliott should be starting games though. He
did against on Thursday. He did it against Thursday.
It's not going to happen every week. He's not going to contribute every week. No player does that. You're laughing, Asim. You're laughing. You said Liverpool going to do a mad one. Where are we now? You can't laugh at me. You can't have it.
All right. Gene, are they going to be big? Okay, we're gonna move on. Listen, I'm all for Gakpo starting as a 9. Sarib not on the left, as a 9 against Atlanta, because I still think we need Diaz on the left against Atlanta away. Gene,
can I just say?
Yeah, of course.
What I would do if you're gonna just give Salah a rest, not in the league game because I think he should still start, but if you're gonna play 2 strikers and leave Diaz on the bench, then I think you should do what we did when Salah went to the AFCON. We played Jota on the right-hand side, but Szoboszlai has to play then. Szoboszlai has to play because we can't have Trent. Trent's going to come into midfield now. We can't have, Harvey Elliott playing.
I think he's stunk up the place as well badly.
Who?
Szoboszlai in the last few weeks.
But I mean, structurally, it doesn't work. You can't have Harvey Elliott on the inside. You can't have Trent on the inside and Jota on the inside. Where's our width?
You said you've got nothing to lose though.
I'm trying to play FIFA football, FIFA manager. You have to play people in positions. You can't just say, I want this, I want that, and then let's see what happens. You have to give it the best chance.
This inverted nonsense.
Could we? Asim, would we bring Gravenberch in then?
Who?
Does he deserve a go?
No, because again, he likes to stay inside.
No, I'll stick Jones on the right then.
Again,
I know he likes playing on the left, but put him out on the right.
Structurally, this is the reason why Harvey Elliott got hooked off at 45, because he likes to. That dynamic between Trent, Salah, and Harvey Elliott works in terms of if Trent is conventional. But generally speaking, when we want, like today, Trent was on the wing, but how many crosses did he put in? Generally, he was picking the ball from the centre backs and putting out wide, especially when Harvey Elliott came on. But Bradley is pivotal for Harvey Elliott because it allows him to play in the half spaces on the inside, coming in and putting that little Odegaard ball onto the back post. When he needs to hug the touchline, you take half of Harvey Elliott's game away because he's a guy who comes to the ball, keeps things ticking. But if he's just positional, he needs to feel the ball, and he doesn't.
What about Joe Gomez as a right back? Because he can be a conventional right back at times. Because he's generally more of a centre back, so he's going to be more defensively structured, and he's very, very good going forward.
Who's this?
Joe Gomez.
How about that's a good comment? How about playing Trent into that midfield as an 8, just leave him there and let Gomez do that kind of Conor Bradley role?
Gomez can't do
it.
I don't like Gomez.
That's why he can't. If you're agreeing with me, then that's why I'm saying that he can't play that role either.
He's been really good as a right back, Joe Gomez. Really, really good as a right back. As a fullback.
I don't think we see Szoboszlai on Thursday. I think it's because it's not because he's been rested. I think it's a tactical.
He should be nowhere near the 11 at the moment. Szoboszlai. He should be nowhere near. He's so off it right now. I don't know how he even comes at half time. He's done nothing in the last 2 months. All of you can agree the guy was really, really good at the start of the season. But since 2024, he's done absolutely nothing. And he shouldn't be getting games in this 11. Harvey Elliott contributes literally every time he comes off the bench. And I don't know how this guy doesn't start ahead of him week in, week out. I don't get it. Even today, I would have started Harvey Elliott today as well. Curtis Jones has just come back from a long-term injury.
Before we do the last sort of 5 minutes of just the little comments that I've started, two questions to the 3 of you. You know, I like doing the little Russian roulette. Going around the table. Gene, are we winning the league?
Yes.
Sarib?
No.
I'm chatting shit. I don't think we win the league.
No.
Sarib?
No.
Asim?
Miracle needed.
Oh. So
it's It's 2-2. I think miracle needed 2-2.
1 week it's changed. It's 1 week, but now I was getting fingers pointed at. Gene was telling me last week, how can you support Liverpool if you don't believe? How can you support Liverpool if you don't believe? In 1 week,
Look,
it's changed, Gene.
Well, look, this is the football club of miracles. Who said we aren't going to do a
Because-
miracle?
If anyone can, as Sarib, if any football club that can is Liverpool. But with City now on top, it's a tall order. It's a huge order.
I said Arsenal are going to win the league, and now I even have
And
doubt.
you said
about that.
Arsenal are the best team in the league as well, by the way.
Yeah,
Well, I think over the season.
Today, Emery,
Finish. He was
Emery
just about to
smothered.
say over the season, Arsenal are the best. Over the season, the best team. The table never lies, Sarib. At the end of the season, the table never lies. How
Season
can you
over.
say over the season, even if Arsenal don't win the league, they'll
Season
be still
over.
the best team in the league?
Obviously
It's
not. Obviously not. The season's not over there, though, has it, Asim? Season's not finished.
So you still believe
Unai
Arsenal are the best team in the league?
Emery
I'm not going to
smothered.
change my opinion.
Are they the best team in the league?
I think from what they've done this season and how they've played against
See what I mean?
Give it a thought. If we don't win the league by being top of the table, we win it in the quarter.
Look, Asim. So when Liverpool were first,
that's
when
the best in the
Liverpool were first 2 weeks ago, were we the
Great
best team
comment.
in the league?
Oh, sorry.
When Liverpool were first 2 weeks ago, were we the best team in the league? So this is how it works for Asim, yeah? Oh, Liverpool win, so we're the best team in the league. Oh, now Arsenal are first, now they're the best team. Now Man City are first, now they're the best team.
I think today, Unai Emery's Villa, they smothered Arsenal perfectly today.
Absolutely.
They got them
I
where
love
they
it.
really
I love it.
got them where they needed them. Brilliant.
2 weeks ago, I said to my man, I said, listen,
Where's Dexter when you need
Oh,
him?
no,
Man? Where's
he's
Dexter?
not-
Dexter.
Dexter, help him out before I cook him.
Dexter's on this one.
2 weeks ago, I said to my man, I said, Arsenal, this is before they played Bayern Munich. I go, listen, when they turn up to Bayern Munich in the Champions League, when the big boys turn up in the European League, you're going to see them falter in the league. Did I say that to you yesterday? Why? Because Arsenal have never been there. They've not been there in terms of the Europe. It's a different kind of fish, mate. Look, that's before they had 5 clean sheets in a row. Home to flipping Bayern.
Gene, all jokes aside,
This is the difference, mate. Business end of the season is completely different. Sorry.
Salim, put the live. This is
a little bit.
Boy, look at Saliba and
Okay, up the 2 hours. That's where you take it. Up the 2 hours.
I mean, calm down.
Ari, let him speak for himself. Chup karna tu.
Look.
Okay, Sarib, can I ask you a question? Sarib, can I ask you a question? As moderator, as the judge.
As a moderator,
Can I go?
please, 5 seconds.
Can I go around the table again? Do we think Arsenal get the job done in Munich though?
I pray they do.
I think they do. I think Arsenal.
Sarib,
Sarib, I think your team does the job on the Allianz.
I want them to. I want them to do it because I want them to see City and Arsenal go out in the semi-finals.
I think
more
if
games, more intensity.
they do it, if they do it, it will be a really, really good response to what's happened in the last 2 games. And they're more than capable of doing so. Now, I'm not going to say yes, so I'm going to say no. I hope it's no, because I don't like them as a football club. But I also hope it's yes, because I want them to play more games, which allows us, because I think we're out the Europa League. I'm going to be honest. I think we're out the Europa League. Less games for us, more games for
Sarib,
them.
I don't know which of you guys watched the Arsenal game. I didn't watch it. I was listening to the radio, but apparently the guys on the WhatsApp, a few of my friends are
today?
Arsenal fans. Yeah, they were saying that Arsenal ran out of ideas, but ran out of legs in the second half.
Yeah, they're very leggy.
Weren't really good.
After 60, they were very leggy. Because what he did was Emery
It showed you how much
he
they
brought
put into the Bayern Munich game, Avi.
and Leon Bailey coming on was a masterstroke because he stretched him, and then he gets the goal as well. And then Diaby was they were a constant thorn. And absolutely, Zaniolo, by the way, who's had 2 serious ACL injuries, right? Bad injuries. I thought he played really well. I would never take a chance on him, but if he can get a run of if he can just get a consistent couple of seasons, he's a player. Last question before we go to the last sort of start messages: does Salah leave this season? Around the table again, Gene. Sarib,
Been saying it for months. I think this is his farewell tour as well.
Asim.
I think he leaves.
One more question. Avi, to you.
You know,
I think he leaves. I think he leaves. Go on.
Does Trent sign?
Yeah, this season he does. Yeah.
I think Trent will sign a new deal. I think he has ambitions to be Liverpool's captain. I think he will sign a new deal, Trent. I think he will.
I don't think Madrid can entice him just yet.
I think
This either you've heard something from Rashi's giving him the little assist while they're having their creme brulee or something. Either Rashi's passed something on.
This for a little while, Avi.
Real Madrid definitely want Trent.
Yeah, that's obvious.
How much are we talking
You
for
don't
Trent?
want me to-
How much are we asking for? What's the asking price for Trent?
I think 70, 80 million. I think
What?
that's- But he's in his last year of his contract as well. You need to remember that.
We didn't hire you as sporting director.
No, he's in the last. No. He's in the last year of his contract. He's in the last year of his contract as well.
Yeah, he is, but he's one of the best. Well, I think Chelsea sold Hazard for 100 million with 12 months on his contract. Why
I
can't
think.
we?
I think if Trent asked to leave, I think we'll sell him for that 80 million.
I think we should demand 100 million if he wants to leave. But I've got a feeling he leaves, Avi.
I'm quietly confident that he signs. It'll be good. It'll be good. Good little banner over the summer. I think with the way Gino's confident, he's definitely heard something from Turkey. Galatasaray.
Which agents are flying around in Istanbul?
I think if we get I think there's a lot of players. I think if we get 70, 80 million for Diaz, I think we should say yes. I think
Look, they're all going.
No. Wait a minute now, Sarib. That's what we'll do a summer show on that before you get overexcited again.
no, because
We'll
there
do
was
that over the summer. No, it
there
was
was-
just two questions.
there has been
And I
noise about
tell you one thing. If Trent decides that his time's up, I wouldn't begrudge him. I would go, Shalimar,
Can I
go to
say-
Madrid and go
can I
and
say-
enjoy yourself. Yeah.
One of the critical things when Trent sits down, personally speaking, and he's probably talked about, well, he has talked about it, that he wants to play midfield. I think that's one of the key questions from Trent to the new manager. Where am I going to play? Where
So
am I
go
gonna-
to a team that has 5 of the best midfielders in the world. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but Cruz probably leaves. Modric
Real
probably
His
leaves.
challenges.
Cruz
isn't it?
and Modric probably leaves. Camavinga's been playing at centre back.
But you know, it's different different expectations at different clubs, Sarib. Like Real Madrid is a different challenge, and you might have to accept to go right back. You know, they'll play the inverted role, this and that. It might be, and then he'll probably, if he's good enough, and he'll have to sort of express himself and show it, and then he can get a few more luxuries in the team. But at Liverpool, it's a different type of challenge. He's one of the leaders. He might demand something else, and it might also depend. Do Liverpool make him one of the highest earners at the club? They probably have to touch 250, 300 with him.
He's
If Salah
25.
leaves,
200 now, Asim. He's going to demand 3.
yeah, 300, 350 maybe.
Gene, was that an exclusive? Your expression,
Sorry?
your reaction when I said Trent is staying and you were like shaking your head. Was that an exclusive?
I know.
I'll tell you in the WhatsApp call after this.
Do you think Jude's been in his ear?
I know ITK. That's your business. I know ITK.
Do you think Jude Bellingham's been in his ear? He's telling him, come to Madrid. Do you think that's
Listen. If I'm 25, if I'm a local lad, right? Look, and you got to weigh this up. He's won everything possible at Liverpool. He's 25 years old. It might be, look, I've done 10 years at Liverpool, 15 years. He's been there, since 7, 8. It might be that, look, he wants to experience a European cultural lifestyle, and Madrid is probably look. If you're going to leave Liverpool, it's got to be Real Madrid or Barcelona.
Avi?
I don't think no, not for me. Not for me. Not right. Not as a front three of the right. No way. And listen, it might just be that few things coincide with each other. Jude, he's good friends with him in the England camp. It might be a great offer on us for the table, and he might just say, "Let me leave."
He's probably going to walk into one of the best sides in the world, where he'll have a chance of winning the league and the Champions League every year. You know, there's make no mistake. That is some side. So I wouldn't be surprised, man, if Trent Alexander-Arnold is Chote.
Last comment. Sarah was right about things apart from that. Arsenal, they fucking tried too. Rhett Kitcher, one Premier League title in 9 years, most overhyped manager ever. Guys, agree with that? Disagree with that?
Move
I
that
think-
comment over, man.
I think Bill Shankly said this.
Respect,
When you're
man.
first, you're first. When you're
And the
second,
it means nothing.
yeah, it means nothing. And I think that's going to be very, very important because no one remembers the losers. Everyone remembers the winners.
And everyone will remember the cheaters.
Sorry, while your gob's open, here's one for you. Shu, what's Sarib more hurt by Arsenal or Liverpool lost today?
I'm more hurt about your nonsense, Shu. You should follow your name and yourself.
He's a big four here now, man. Big up, big up.
M Scarps, congratulations, Leverkusen, on winning the Bundesliga. Just a quick one on this, one achievement.
Yeah,
Gene, around the table quickly.
Now, yeah, let's forget about Leverkusen and talk about Leverkusen all the time. Nasser, he hasn't come. We move on. Flipping up. We talk about Leverkusen like a Liverpool player.
No, but these are random comments that I've just starred, isn't it?
Move on from him.
Asim,
Forget
great
Leverkusen,
achievement.
yeah, for the achievement, yes, but I don't want to hear Leverkusen talk.
Of course,
Sarib,
we'll
Yeah.
any few words for Jabi's Leverkusen?
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of them, man. Obviously,
we'll welcome him.
Seeing an ex-Liverpool player do well, I really enjoy it. He's done a really, really good job. Unbeaten as well this season.
He'll be here by 2029. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, like he was.
Gucci'd up. Oh, clip that as well. Gucci'd up. I said weeks ago Emery should be considered for the job. Not many have his experience and trophy holds. Gene, Emery.
Sorry.
Emery as Liverpool manager, should he be considered?
He's a brilliant manager. I do. Yes, I did.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, no, I've rated Emery for a long time. He's done a job on us previously as well. So fair play to him. He's done a fantastic job at Villa. Is he good enough for Liverpool? He wasn't given the time at Arsenal. Do I want him as the Liverpool manager? The thing is, when you've got Amorim available, and I think after Alonso, Amorim is the one that we all really want. So I don't really want anybody else now except for Amorim.
Asim, Emery.
He's a good manager. Especially
He's good at these types of clubs. Seville, Villa, Valencia. He did a good job there. But when it gets to that top notch,
he's a good coach. Has his 4-4-2 style, high line. He's been sort of tinkering between Diaby. Tielemans has been playing well for him. Bailey for the second half of the season has come on like he's mentioned.
All season he's been good. All season.
I don't think he gets the credit.
Diaby's playing better.
But earlier in the season, he was playing Diaby more than Bailey, wasn't he?
Yeah, first 3-4 games.
I don't think he gets the credit he deserves because he picked Aston Villa out of a relegation battle and he's made them into a top 4.
100%.
And he could easily be in the Champions League this season. And I think the job at Liverpool next season will be very, very similar, where it's going to be kind of a rebuild, but we don't know where it's going to be.
I don't think he's got that.
Coming in. And he's very good at rebuilds, Emery. He's very, 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 very good at rebuilds. Maybe not to take the team to the pinnacle, but to build an 11 for a next coach to come in, I think he's really good. But you said about Amorim, and that was your first choice. That was not my first choice. I really wanted Julian Nagelsmann. I'm going to stick by that.
After Jabi Alonso.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Dexter Baker last super chat, I believe. Sarib for a new LFC manager. Very modern.
I'm going to find your IP address, Dexter.
Dexter's back.
Dexter's great stuff. It has. It was a bad day, but it has been a very good evening. Big up Alonso. Guys, I'm not sure if you lot have seen him, but Pau Kubasi. He's 17 years old. I know we talk about Kwanzaa's 20-year-old, but this kid's got the lot. And it's nice to see Barcelona a little bit of renaissance as well. I want them to win the Champions League. I really hope they can do something magical for Xavi and Barcelona in general. I think they need something major. And I believe they've been in financial talks with a big group as well who will be investing in the summer. So maybe that Diaz talk, maybe we should hold fire on that. But guys, this has been Born and Red. We're still believing. We're still believing by the thread, by the eye of the needle. We're still there. We've got a hope for a miracle at Atalanta. We've been there before. Barcelona, the 4-0. I know we're away this time, but listen, if anyone can.
What did the last T-shirt say on the night?
Never give in. Never give up. There you go. But guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Gene, I don't know what time it is in Turkey, but I'm sure you'll be going out on the razzle after this one. Good, man. And then we'll be back on Friday. Chip and Gene, I think Sarib will be joining us on Friday as well. Saturday, I believe a phone-in show will be happening. And then Sunday, obviously, the Fulham game. And probably we'll be doing a post-match on Thursday as well. Atlanta,
I think
unless you two are going on a trip to Bergamo. I'm not sure if you are. But no, we'll be doing definitely 3 to 4 shows this week. Guys, this has been Born and Red. Please like and subscribe on your way in and on your way out. And we shall see you next week. Thank you. God bless.
Bye-bye.